And a lot of refugees that I met had the phone, but without the point of connection. So it was just a memory receptacle. I mean, how do you think is an effective way that we can actually get them connected? Right. They have got the device, but they don't have a capacity.
Indeed. I think, and that's what the research that we've done has borne out, is that really it's only about 7% of the world's refugees that are not in an area where there's a network. There's at least a 2G network for most. The situation for urban refugees, unsurprisingly, is much better than for rural refugees. But the challenge, I think, there is in case if it's not available, then we have to work on the networks to try to make that happen. But if it is available, the issue is really affordability, and other studies of access to the internet have borne that out as well. So the challenge is, how do we drive down the costs? How do we make sure that the most vulnerable also have access to a phone and are able to access the internet? Because that's something that we see as well, is that the most vulnerable oftentimes also have the same desire to want to stay connected, but they're not in a position to do so, and often find themselves in situations of exploitation because they can't make a phone call. And you'd think that that wouldn't be possible, but in fact it happens in camps on a day-to-day basis. So the challenge is, how do we do that? And it's also quite clear from the point of view in UNHCR. UNHCR is not a technology company. We don't have the expertise, but there's a huge opportunity, we think, to work together with the private sector to find ways to ensure the availability of connectivity for refugees, but also to find ways to make it more affordable. And then finally, the big opportunity in that is when we reach this point where we have a connected refugee population, then how can we take advantage of it? How can we leverage it in a way to enable us to do our work in a much more effective way? Needs have never been greater, as you rightly said. We have to find ways to be more effective, to be more efficient, and just simply managing appointments more effectively, sharing information more effectively. As you indicated, everywhere across the full range of work that we do as humanitarians would benefit from being able to share information in a more effective way and be able to communicate more effectively about needs. And probably the biggest thing, too, is just helping communities help themselves. If they're connected, they can work together more effectively and draw on the resources that they have, both where they're located, but also across, very often, what is a large diaspora.